Hello and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Tonight, dear viewers, we'll be talking about Egypt's commitment to Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 goals set by the United Nations for Sustainable Development. Egypt is investing a lot in many areas for the sake of achieving sustainable development. We'll be talking about some of those key sectors where investments flow for the sake of sustainable development. We'll also be talking about the challenges facing Egypt in achieving SDGs and the opportunities that exist here in Egypt, and we'll be doing that in the company of our dear guest, Dr. Noha Badr, and she is a professor at the Faculty of Financial and Administrative Sciences in a private university here in Egypt. A very good evening to you, Dr. Badr, and thank you for joining us, Dr. Noha. Allow us, please, Dr. Noha, and the viewers first to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, and then we'll come back and start our discussion.
Egypt's Vision 2030 is a national agenda launched in February 2016, reflecting the state's long-term strategic plan to achieve the principles and goals of sustainable development in all fields and localize them in the various Egyptian state agencies. Egypt's Vision 2030 is based on the principles of inclusive sustainable development and balanced regional development, and Egypt's Vision 2030 reflects the three dimensions of sustainable development: the economic dimension, the social dimension, and the environmental dimension. Among the Sustainable Development Goals is achieving high, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, raising the degree of flexibility and competitiveness of the economy, increasing employment rates and decent job opportunities, improving the business environment and promoting a culture of entrepreneurship, achieving financial inclusion, integrating the environmental and social dimension into economic development, achieving financial sustainability, and transforming forwards the digital, sustainable, and knowledge-based economy.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report. We are here in Business Insider discussing Egypt's commitment to Sustainable Development Goals in the company of Dr. Noha Badr, a lecturer of Financial and Administrative Sciences. Now, Dr. Noha, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals set by the UN, we can find that Egypt is really trying to be investing in all of them and is committed to achieving all of them. So how do you see, or how would you describe Egypt's commitment to SDGs?
Okay, first of all, we have to say that Egypt is committed to the Sustainable Development Goal, SDGs, set out by the United Nations. These goals' main aim is to face global challenges. These global challenges, which is the poverty, the hunger, the inequality, the climate change, things like that. And Egypt started to develop its own strategy, which called Vision 2030. The investment is in the main key sectors, which are 5 main key sectors: the education, the health, the social protection, water and sanitation, and the transportation. These are the main 5 sectors that Egypt started to make its strategy, so we can develop these 5 main pillars.
All right, so let's take them sector by sector, if you will, and talk to us about investment in the education sector. A very important goal, Sustainable Development Goal.
Yes, for sure. First of all, we have to know that education goal with Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG number 4. SDG number 4 is the SDG concerning equality of education. How we can expand the access, how we can improve the quality, how we can promote the inclusion, how we can focus more on developing the education sector. If we start talking about education, education is a main sector for development in the SDGs. Education, we mean by education that we want to develop more quality for the education sector, building more schools, training the professional, the learning professional, okay, and here we may face many challenges.
Yes.
But the government stand for these challenges by many initiatives. Our first initiative for education is the Knowledge Bank.
Yes.
Okay, the Knowledge Bank of Egypt is an initiative that aims to create digital platform education, so any educator can enter any time on this platform, can find many type of books, many types of journal, many type of information. So this was a very big initiative given by the government to support this pillar. Although the quality education project programs, the government is making a lot of education programs that want to support whoever want to make an education project. This initiative could be by giving support or by giving the capital needed for such project. But you know, we have a very big challenge in the education sector, the infrastructure. We need a lot amount of capital for the infrastructure, for building more schools, for building more university, for making more improvement in this sector. Also the large class sizes. This is a main challenge and a main problem for the education sector. The large class sizes and the crowd class sizes is a main problem in the education sector.
Right.
So they work for improving this quality by building more school, building more classes, training the professional so they can give a qualified learning process for the student.
Well, I guess, Dr. Noha, that the problem of crowded classrooms exists more in primary education.
And rural areas.
And rural areas.
Yes, yes.
But when we go to upper levels of education, like the secondary or the high school, high school years, there is another problem that we sometimes see is the absence or the leave that many students do not go to their class rooms and depend on taking private lessons or lessons in centers, public centers, private centers, or even home tutoring. So what about this problem? How can we deal with this problem?
This problem goes for what I have said, that there is, we have a problem in the professional wise in the learning process. You know, one of the methods that is used is improving the learning process by the professionals. So they take this professionals, and then start making for them classes, start making for them training courses so they can improve their levels. And this is a main pillar that the government work for. How they can improve the professionalism of the teacher. It is not just a teacher, not just to give an information for the student, but being a professionalism need many courses, need training courses, need capital, need more time. And this is something we face a problem, especially in the rural area, especially in this sector.
Right. So Egypt is investing in this file, but as I understood from what you were saying, we need more investments, especially when it comes to developing the skills of teachers.
Yes, developing the skills of teachers to be professionals.
Yeah,
not just the
educational
teacher.
process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, who else, who other than the teachers?
The teachers, we mean by the teachers who educate for the primary or for the secondary or
Right.
for the higher. We
Right.
mean all of these are
Right.
called teachers.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, because I understood that you said...
Even who give support for student, not the teacher, need to have the skills needed to...
That's a very important
yes,
point.
to treat with the teacher, or to treat
That's a
sorry,
very
with the
important
student.
point,
Yes.
because some parents help in the educational process. But usually when the parents do so, they are able to help.
Yes, yes, sure. Yes,
So
sure.
would you encourage that?
I encourage the support of the family, but I don't encourage the private way that that the student doesn't go for school, but depend on another source, which is a private
Public
source.
center or
Yes,
private center,
especially that the government now support by the Knowledge Bank project, and really the Knowledge Bank project is a very good support for the student from primary school to high school. You find all the courses with all illustration, with all steps needed. So I think if they give the time they go for private lesson or private teacher for a Knowledge Bank project, they can get a better result.
Right. The mission statement in the UN regarding sustainable development, the number 4, the education development goal, talks about, I think you mentioned it, but I want to ask you a question about it, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So when we say equitable and we say for all, I mean, we don't want any discrimination between, for instance, boys and girls, between urban or rural areas,
Yes.
and so on. What about efforts in this regard?
Okay. SDG work for decreasing the inequality and decreasing the gap that is found between boy and girl, the able and the disabled. This is a main issue for them. Okay?
The rich and the poor.
Yes, for sure. But mainly they mean by that all of them must take the same educational level and the same educational quality, that the education service must be affordable, you know, affordable for all citizens, for all students. And they focus especially on the primary and the secondary. The primary and the secondary is that all primary and secondary, even in the rural areas, are getting their educational service in a very good way.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Second area where a lot of investments flow in is health.
Yes.
When it comes to, and this is Sustainable Development Goal number 3. So tell us about
Yes.
Egypt's efforts in this regard.
Okay. Health goes with SDG number 3, good health and well-being of the society. Okay? And we have many strategies done by Egypt going with a health issue. First of all, the universal health coverage. And we mean by universal health coverage that Egypt is working toward providing all people with the same service in affordable and accessible way, which means that all people in whatever country or rural area must take their health care service in a qualified way. Egypt is trying to make sure that beside each person home, there is a place where he can find or she can find a place for healthcare service. This is the meaning of a first strategy, which we call universal health coverage. Okay. Secondly is strengthening the healthcare quality, which means more hospitals, which means more clinics. Not more hospital and not more clinics as a number, but the quality is number 1. The quality is number 1. Then we have to increase the number of hospitals, increase the number of clinics, as we know that Egypt is a very huge population. And the health care service is needed by a lot of people. So they concern, this is the most important pillar that they work with. Okay? Third is addressing the non-communicable diseases. They try as much as they can to spread information about diseases and how people can take care of such diseases. Sometimes by programs in school, programs in the university, programs by the national ministry to the people, so they can
raise awareness.
Yes, raise the awareness for such diseases. Okay? Examples of these initiatives in Egypt is Haya Karima.
Right.
Haya Karima,
decent life,
yes, decent life. It improves health service in underprivileged communities and countries, and start to build more hospitals, more clinics, raising the quality of health care service.
In villages and rural areas,
yes,
right, the most needy areas.
Also, the second initiative is 100 million healthy life campaign. 100 million healthy life campaign. This campaign focuses on early prevention of the diseases, not to stay until the people face the disease, but start before to prevent and to tell them and to give them the know-how of how they can prevent themselves from such diseases.
Right, taking precautionary measures.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes they say like precaution is better than cure.
Yes, yes. Although the national mental health strategy that recognize the growing importance of even the mental health. And this is the most important. Egypt is developing now many strategies of how they can treat with the mental health problem and how they can access to mental health service and address a very big stigma about this issue.
Right. You know, precaution better than treatment, or prevention is better than treatment. Speaking of mental health, so it is in the file of Egypt's state vision and investments.
Yes.
Because, as you mentioned, it is stated in SDG number 3, mental health.
Yes. Although we have a very big challenge in this sector, we face shortage in healthcare professionals.
In mental health specifically?
Yes.
Because we have a lot of doctors in Egypt.
Not only mental health. And it is not a case of shortage of doctors. Shortage of healthcare professionals, which means that Egypt is giving more time to give the needed skills to change the doctor to a professional doctor. So we can cover this gap.
I want to stay with the health file. It is a very important file, and ask you a question about nutrition, because I reading here that the UN states in SDG 3 that nutrition is part of the well-being. So we are talking here not only about fighting malnutrition, but providing healthy nutrition and healthy lifestyle for citizens.
Although in this file of healthcare, they are trying to give a focus on how people can stay healthy. It is not about diet, it's not about eating much or more, but it's about how we can stay a long time with a healthy lifestyle. And now the national minister is working for this. They give sessions for people in the hospital, of how they can live their life as healthy style.
And sports must come here in this file, because when we practice sport, then we are conducting a healthy
but
lifestyle.
I think that Egypt now is more going for sports more than the years before.
Yes, I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
yes. I think that all people now are thinking about sport and how they can.
And the state itself is,
go to
is
the gym.
encouraging this,
Yes.
and the president himself.
Yes.
You heard him talk
Yes.
more than once
And
about
give-
the importance of practicing sports,
Yes.
not necessarily to achieve championships,
Yes.
but practice sports for your health.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so again, finally,
Yes.
regarding the health file, certainly the health service needs are different from, say, the elderly generation or from the babies or the teens, different between women and men in general. So tell us about what is being done here.
Because of this, now they give a very big focus on how they can train doctors and how they can change the dealing with the patient, not just it is a patient and not just what is your disease and then you have to take your medicine and go to your home. No, because of this, they give a very big focus on the mental health. The mental health here means that we have to know when we have a patient how he feels, what is his problem, what he's about, if he has any problem other than the disease, what is the sources of this disease. It is not just
A
given,
slogan,
yes,
yeah.
not just a slogan, yes. And because of this, they encourage the mental health and giving session for the patients. And many hospitals now are giving these sessions for free for the patients. And this
Good. Very good.
This is supported by the government.
Very good. Back to the report that was presented by our own Abir Hussein. She mentioned at the outset of the report that the SDGs might go in 3 different axes.
Yes.
She mentioned economic, societal, that's
Social,
society,
yes.
social,
Yeah.
and environmental.
Yes.
So I'm sure that environmental here also has to do with health. Because if we invest in clean energy, renewable energy, if we fight CO2,
Yes.
and we fight global warming and climate change, then we are making for a healthier environment. So I'm sure that there is a link between health and environment
Yes,
here. So
for
tell us
sure.
about that.
For sure, there is a link, but maybe the part of the environmental goes with SDG of transportation.
Okay.
Why SDG transportation? Let's see.
Yeah, that was the one that you put at number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
SDG of transportation goes with SDG number 11. Sustainable cities and communities goes with SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth, goes with SDG number 10, reduce the inequality, goes with SDG number 13, climate action. So I think
11
that
and 13 here must go with 3 as well.
yes,
with the health,
yes, they are all connected.
Yeah, they are.
All the SDGs
Yeah.
are connected,
They are.
but some of them are concerning with social, some of them are more concerned with the environmental. I think the transportation is more concerned with the environmental.
And the economy as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Sustainable, first of all, if we talk about the part of transportation, if we talk about the sustainable cities and the community, what is the main focus of the strategy here? What the government look for is how these cities can, all of them, have an efficient and an affordable transportation system. And what we mean by efficient and affordable, all of them can have their transportation service in a qualified way, in a good way. You know, what we call the sustainable cities. They want to reach what we call the sustainable cities. Sustainable cities means that everyone in the city can reach his own way of transportation or his own way of going whatever, moving from place to another place in a safe and a qualified manner. Okay, this first of all. Second is the decent work and the economic growth. They think that if we look for the transportation and if all people can have an affordable and efficient way of transporting, then this may lead that the people will work more and more, and this goes for the part of economic growth, or this will go for an output of economic growth.
And that's a natural conclusion.
Yes, if they are satisfied and happy, then they can give more in their work.
Yeah, logical.
Yes. SDG number 10, under the transportation or linked with transportation, although it is linked with environmental, is to reduce inequality. And reducing inequality, the government is investing a lot to reduce inequality. And you know that President Sisi is giving a very big attention for the disabled, especially the disabled.
Yes.
And
the people with special abilities.
Yes, yes, yes. And this go with the reduction of inequalities. A climate action. Climate action is SDG number 13 under the transportation also, or linked with the transportation. And this go with what we see now of electric vehicles, how we can decrease the amount of pollution from the car and from the transportation modes, the different transportation modes, and change it to what we call the clean modes of transportation.
Right.
Okay.
And speaking of clean water and sanitation,
Yes.
Which is part of SDG 6 in the United Nations program, also sees a lot of investments here in Egypt.
Yes. Let's start to say that the main source of water in Egypt is from
the River Nile.
The River Nile, okay? And we have a problem with the amount of water from the River Nile, that we face a problem which we call scarcity of water, okay? So first of all, they start to think about how they can deal with this problem. So number one, improve water resource management, which is dealing with the problem of the River Nile water. How we can manage this water, how we can try to find another way to cover the scarcity of water problem. Okay? Then they think for the desalination plants. You know, desalination plants, which mean changing the seawater to find another way of use, so we can use the seawater for irrigation or for agriculture, okay? Especially that the agriculture sector
very important.
Is the most sector that consume water. And
it is related to food security, and is related to end of hunger and poverty, and again the link.
Yes, and we have, for an example, a very popular plant which is a Bahr al-Bakr plant, which looks for seawater and how it can change it to be used as an alternative use for the water. Okay, then the wastewater treatment. They are looking forward for wastewater treatment. They are investing in how they can work on a wastewater treatment, so they can use it in industrial project or in irrigation project.
And I believe, sorry to interrupt you, but I believe that again, Haya Karima, or decent life, has a big part to play here.
Yes, yes.
In the clean water and sanitation.
Haya Karima is working parallel with each pillar in the SDG. Okay, Haya Karima have a very big and important role, as they work parallel with the main role of health, building hospitals, okay, more clinics, okay, but
education,
they are more infrastructure, increasing the quality of life And this is a very important concept, increasing quality of life.
A very important concept as well is that this has to be a partnership. So are we seeing a partnership? It has to be a partnership between the government, between NGOs, between the private sector. I mean, all of these players should work in tandem. And
yes, all of this work is a dual work between the different government ministries and the agencies that go with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Okay. Now, SDG number 1. And I left it to the end because I'm sure there's a lot to say here.
Yes.
Social protection. What about the investments?
Yes. Social protection. Yes, it goes SDG number 1. No poverty. Okay. No poverty, and it goes with SDG number 10. Reducing inequality. Also, both of them. And here we go to what about the strategy of Egypt to deal with the social protection. First of all, Egypt is looking for the social safety nets. What is the social safety net? This program provides financial assistance for poor people and for the population who face low income. Secondly, the social...
So we're talking about subsidies here.
Yes, subsidies,
amongst
yes.
Other
yes.
things.
The second strategy is the social insurance, and the social insurance is shown in the pension plan, is shown in the social feeding programs for those people also who face a low income problem. And the third strategy is called the in-kind support, and this gives support for whoever who needs support if he is poor, of low income, or face a problem that need a support from the government.
And here the Ministry of Social Solidarity, I think, plays a very important role.
And we have many programs in Egypt working for this. The most important or the most popular one is a Takaful or Karama project. Takaful or Karama project is working on poor people, how they can give support, how they can increase the standard of those poor people and give them the needed amount of money that can keep them satisfied or can make them use their own needs. Okay, reach their own needs.
Wonderful. Takaful and Karama or Solidarity.
Also Haya Karima.
Yes, sure.
Also Haya Karima. Again, yes. As I told you, it is a main main player
areas.
in
when it
in
comes
all
to
areas.
Sustainable development goals.
Yes.
Of course, that presidential initiative, Haya Karima or Decent Life. Now, Dr. Noha, because we are nearing the end of the episode here, I want to know about the challenges facing Egypt in achieving SDGs.
Many challenges. First of all, the infrastructure is a main problem.
Although we've spent, I mean, the state has spent a lot on infrastructure.
Okay, but it needs a lot of capital. Okay, it needs a lot of capital. If we talk about the health sector, which need more hospital, we need capital for infrastructure. Education, more school, we need
finance.
Capital. Yes, we need finance. Yes. So the infrastructure is a main problem. The crowd of a population is a problem that hind the development of the strategy of the government. Okay, keeping a lot of people not to take the needed skills and the needed training to be updated is a challenge. Because we have to
raising awareness.
Yes, we have to raise
more
awareness. Okay, although some of the people are not going with knowledge and with technology, and this is a very big challenge. Recently we need technology in everything, even if we want to change the education, or we want to change the healthcare, or even the social protection, the transportation, all of this now need technology. So everyone should be updated with recent technology and recent skills, so they can
So we need to spend more on infrastructure, even more.
Yes.
We need more technology.
Yes.
We need to raise awareness more. There are efforts in all of these fields, but we need more.
Yes, training efficiency. We need more training for people to be more efficient. We need the people to think sustainable. We need everyone to think sustainable. We need that everyone protect the amount of water used. You know that this amount of water is scarce and is something that is valuable for the government and for the country and for himself. Okay, so if people think sustainable, everyone of the community will reach at the end the sustainable way of thinking, or the sustainable city, or the sustainable climate that we are talking about.
Think of the future generations as well, because when we preserve our resources, then we are preserving it for the future generations.
Yes.
Finally, despite all of these challenges, there are great opportunities in our beautiful country. So what can you tell us?
Economic growth is a great opportunity. Decreasing the unemployment level, okay, giving opportunity for people who cannot find a place to get their own innovation and creation. The SDGs and implementing the strategy will give them a way to spend more time working on their innovation and working on their creation and working on a new way of thinking. Also, I can found that the healthcare sector especially is giving a very big opportunity in the coming period.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Noha Badr, the lecturer of Financial and Administrative Sciences. It's been a great pleasure having you with us. And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Business Insider. Please stay with Nile TV.